Now, more of your go-to for all things home. This is Home Answers Radio, presented by JeffBuysYourHouse.com, Access, Level 10 Coatings, Steiner Homes, Center Guard Plumbing, and by American Beam and Steel. Once again, here's Roger Piper.
Your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio.
Hi, welcome to Home Answers. I'm Roger Piper. This show is all about your home. Today we're going to talk windows, and that's something that is a great topic because there's a lot of stuff to discuss, a lot of things going on with it. We've got John Similia with Window Nation. John, welcome to the show.
Roger, thanks so much for having me today.
Now, one of the things about Window Nation that I find really interesting, first of all, let's just back up a little bit. There are so many things to think about when you're doing windows. It's not easy. Used to be, but it doesn't seem like it is with all the advancements and things like that. So, John, tell us a little bit about what makes Window Nation unique.
Well, the thing that really makes us unique is our mission, and that is that we want to help the homeowner feel as comfortable in their home as we possibly can. We don't take it lightly that you allow us to come into your house to do work, and we want to show you how big a difference new windows can make.
Now, John, every home is unique, and I get that. And one of the things that we've talked about in the past is that, you know, with many times when you're getting windows and the installation is the ball game, we know that. But when they're doing windows, they go, okay, we can fit this window off the shelf into here if we change some framing and do some things. You really do make each window custom, right, John?
Absolutely. The windows are custom-built windows. They're not off the shelf. And, with that, you get professional installation along with a lifetime warranty. And the one thing that we really focus on with our windows is the energy efficiency of those windows. You're going to get comprehensive service from the consultation all the way through the installation at Window Nation.
Now, a lot of people will say lifetime warranty, okay? And there's always something in there that kind of says, well, unless you didn't do this or this or this or that. So tell us, let's go a little more in depth on that lifetime warranty, because it's a bold statement when you're saying, hey, we're going to do these windows, and it's a lifetime warranty. So give us some of the details on that.
One of the things that we will provide on our consultation is we'll show the homeowner our lifetime warranty. Roger, our lifetime warranty is a one-page warranty, and it's very, very plain and laid out in the sense that it's going to cover all the materials of the window, it's going to cover the labor, and being that it's a one-page warranty, it's designed to protect the homeowner. When you start looking at warranties that actually are like 3 or 4 pages long with a small print, I think the thing you have to think about is, am I buying a window or am I buying a helicopter?
I know, it's like you need a law degree to look at it. Yeah.
Right. And, do you really think those warranties are protecting the homeowner, or are they really designed to protect the company? Mm-hmm. So at Window Nation, we really just keep our warranty plain and simple. It is lifetime on everything. You can read that. We provide that for you. And the other thing that's really nice is that down the road, if you ever decide to sell your home or gift it to a loved one or relative, the warranty transfers to the next homeowner for a 15-year period.
Yeah, and that's good because that can help as far as selling the home. If you're going to sell it, that can be a good talking point, right, John?
Absolutely. You're certainly right.
Mm-hmm. We talked about installation being the ball game, and I think that people need to know that. You can have, obviously you want very good material in that window, but if you can have the best window in the world, and if it's not installed correctly, it's not going to perform. So tell us, what's the difference with Window Nation as far as installation? Because that is the ball game. It really is. You can have a great window, but you got to install it right.
And during our consultation with homeowners, Roger, one thing that we do is we explain how our installation process works and what type of building materials that we use during the installation process. Mm-hmm. First of all, we're going to use a mold control. As soon as we take the old window out, we're not saying that you have mold in your house, but in case you do, we're going to spray around there on every job just to prevent any mold from ever occurring. Because, over a 25 to 30-year period, you're getting, air circulating through maybe some openings in that frame, and that could be causing mold. The other thing, though, is the type of building materials that we use.
Okay.
So we're using a high-end quality sealant. We're using a high-end quality insulation. And, of course, the trim coil that goes around the outside of the window is a scratch-resistant, fade-resistant, high quality. And we show you that during the time of the consultation, whereas a lot of companies, they really don't try to get into that too much because they're probably using a lot of the low-end installation or the low-end building materials.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to offer a lifetime warranty, then you better use the right stuff, right?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Okay, good questions to ask somebody if you're interviewing companies do windows. We're talking to John Similia. He's with Window Nation, and you can contact them at 877-251-8431. They'll do free consultations for you. Or you can go to windownation.com, which I highly recommend. That's always a good idea to check out the website and do that. Now, when it comes to energy efficiency, I know that's the main reason that people decide, right? I've got leaky windows. I don't like them. Maybe they're old wood windows and they're worn out. That's why vinyl is so popular. But what's the number one reason that people say, hey, it's time to replace these windows?
Well, you're absolutely right. The number one reason and the number one driver is energy efficient windows. And, most U.S. homeowners replace windows primarily to cut their energy costs. Studies are going to show that over 60% cite improved efficiency as a major reason. So the things that a homeowner wants to look for outside of the fact that, a company provides a quality installation with a quality warranty is advanced glazing. Whether you go with a double or triple pane window, you want to make sure that it's, a high performance frame seal. You also are looking for the low emissivity coatings to prevent the harmful UV rays from the sun fading your furniture and your floors. And also, you want to make sure that it has the thermal benefits. In other words, the glass is infused with an argon gas. It's an inert gas that really helps insulate the home to keep your heat in during the cold months.
Yep. And that makes a difference because nobody wants to pay for more electricity or more natural gas. I mean, those costs just continue to go up. If somebody is looking at replacing windows and they're old, they're leaky, obviously it'd be great if you could just replace the entire house, all of them. But not everybody can do that. John, is it okay, and do you welcome people that say, you know what, I just want to replace some of them now and set up a program to, make it a little bit easier on my budget to do it over a period of time?
Absolutely. Most homeowners that we deal with, even though they initially have us out to give them an estimate on the entire home, will find that it's a lot more cost effective to spread that out over time. And the ways you spread that out over time are maybe you're just going to replace 3 or 4 windows at a time, or we offer very, very good financing that offers a low monthly payment that's affordable to a lot of budgets. And therefore, we can show you a way to perhaps spread this out over time and get the entire house done and get that energy savings going immediately.
There used to be, I haven't looked into this in a while, but there used to be some tax credits and rebates and things like that. Is there anything going on in the industry right now that will offer any of that, or is that pretty much gone?
Well, I think those are gone now, but I know in the past there were regulatory incentives such as the Federal Energy Efficient Home Improvement Credit, which was part of the Inflation Reduction Act that offered 30% tax credits on qualified window upgrades. And supposedly that was going to make high-efficiency products more affordable at least through 2032. But as far as whether or not you're entitled to a tax credit going into 2026, I'm not really 100% certain on that, and I think that's something you'd want to check with your tax advisor on.
Yep, that makes sense. Also, vinyl's the way to go, and I know that there are a lot of people that really like vinyl because, it's a good product. It's less maintenance than wood or composite even from that point of view. But the problem has always been that, hey, I want the look of wood. That's possible now, isn't it? Because with vinyl, you can have it look like wood on one side and make it look like vinyl on the other side, or both, right?
Absolutely. You can make the interior look just like an oak wood or, a cherry style wood. And then you can even have the exterior into like a different color. And we provide a lot of different options with our products simply because, homeowners are requesting just more solutions to really upgrade the quality and look of their homes.
And color is coming back. It used to be everything's white vinyl. That's not the case anymore, is it?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, even if you just drive around your own neighborhood, you're going to find a lot of different colors on replacement windows. And we have colors really just to match any style.
Yep. And you make them in your local factory. So that's pretty cool, too.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%, custom made to fit the openings that you have in your home.
Yeah. That's always been a pet peeve of mine where somebody will sit there and go, well, this thing's a little off, this window that we ordered. So we're just going to change and, work it around. You don't do that, do you? You measure and then you get exactly what's needed for that opening.
Absolutely. So during the initial consultation, we're going to measure to provide you an accurate price on the project. And then about 3 or 4 days later, we're going to send a factory trained measure tech out to your home, and he's going to get a specific measurement to that opening down to the eighth of an inch. And then that's when your windows are custom made. And then generally several weeks later, the project will get installed.
That's great. John, thanks for being on the show. It's John Similia with Window Nation. And the best way to get a hold of them is windownation.com or call them at 877-251-8431. Free consultation. Check it out. Get the information. John, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Roger.
It's Home Answers on AM 560, The Answer.